What's up, everybody? Welcome into this Orange Zone Overtime. Tommy Sladek, Samantha Croston. The big story this week, Fran Brown being hired as head coach of the Syracuse football team. And this tie-in goes down to the high school level. You might recognize the color of Sam's blazer if you're in Central New York. This has to do with CBA's Syair Torrence and really a bigger scale story, which is Fran Brown is known as a recruiter, and CNY's biggest prospect is back in the mix as having some interest in the Orange.
Right. The bottom line is he is on the fence, but he has an interest in being a part of this program again. And there was a backstory to this. He has committed once to Syracuse before. He decommitted and then was committed to Michigan State. He decommitted from there, and now his recruitment is 100% back open. We saw a couple of days ago that when it was announced on Twitter that Fran Brown was going to be the head coach, Syair Torrence quote tweeted it. He had the orange, the eye emoji. People wanted to know what was going on, so we went to CBA today. We spoke with him, asked him what that tweet was all about, and on that he kind of said, wait it out, there's more to come. But he did say, yes, he is interested in Syracuse. He was able to confirm that today, and when we asked why, he did say that a part of the reason that his interest has been sparked again is because of the hiring of Fran Brown. So I have here what he said. He said, especially with me from Syracuse, if I want to play here, I could play under a great coach, a person that made it to big national championships. He mentioned the fact that Brown has sent players to the NFL, which is something that he's interested in. So he said, if that happens, but whatever happens, happens. So we're not sure yet. Still an exciting time considering that he is truly one of the best defensive backs in the entire country.
And here's an opportunity for you to hear from Syair himself. Here's a few of the things that he said that stuck out to us with Sam's interview.
I want to know if hiring Fran Brown, especially someone who is a defensive backs coach, does play into that decision at all, or some of that thought process, if you could share with us.
It definitely do, especially with me being from Syracuse, and potentially if I want to play for Syracuse, I could play under a great coach, a person that made it to big national championships, coached big time players, sent players to the league. So playing under him will be a great feeling if that happens, but whatever happens, happens.
What type of program do you personally want to play, regardless of all the conjecture and everything? Because of the program that you've had at CBA, what type of program do you want to be in next year?
Whatever program that's going to make me the better person I am now. Whatever person that's going to make me a better man outside of football and a better leader to my younger brothers, the teammates I have here, and just telling them what I learned and should give back to them.
I think my last question is just because, again, we will definitely be staying tuned. But I would love to know if it is in the rotation and it is something that you're considering now that your recruitment is open.
I can say that it definitely is considering, especially with the news with that. So I can say Syracuse is still in my interest, and just stay tuned.
So some great insight there from Syair, who I have to say, first time meeting him, this is just a stand-up dude.
Good family.
You could just
good
tell,
older brother.
right?
Who knew Syair, yeah.
5 years, 10 years down the line, you just know this dude is going to be doing something great. But you heard one thing that he mentioned in that interview clip is that wherever he decides to go to school, one thing that's really important to him is that he leaves that school a better man. He really cares about that. And I have to say that I think Fran Brown had a similar vibe. You could tell that he cares about his players on and off the field. It's something that's important to him. He wants to grow and develop them as people.
And that's been a sentiment that we've seen from his former players and coaching colleagues from every one of his stops on social media, right? And even just on Tuesday, it was the first time we were hearing from some of the Georgia Bulldog players, one of those being Javon Bullard, NFL prospect, a DB working with him as a defensive backs coach. And he just said, he's a great coach, but it's his ability to connect with his players outside of football that makes him so special. He's like, I know he has my back. He's like, I've talked with him spiritually. If I'm missing home, he's like, he's the guy I go to. If my car breaks down, that's who I would call.
I saw that.
That's big to me, and it speaks to his character. But tying it back to this recruiting, right? And in Central New York, it's not Texas, it's not Florida, it's not California. We're a cold environment. Football is not going to be the biggest thing and maybe have as many Division I talents as you see with lacrosse or even basketball at certain occasions, but there is talent here. I mean, CBA alone right now has 5 guys with Division I offers. I'm going to list off the names. Of course, Syir's on that list. You also have Dante Bashai, you have Matthew Hahn, you have Marquand Sadler, and you have Darian Williams. The brothers are a very good team. They're going to be playing in a state championship at the Dome on Saturday. Bruce Williams, head coach Casey Brown, there's a culture of winning there, and I'm sure Fran Brown has already thought, how do I start creating that pipeline? Because I know that this school is going to keep producing that.
And again, we were even able to speak with the CBA head coach today, and he touched on that, right? Because you have to imagine all of these local coaches are thinking, how am I going to build a relationship with Fran Brown? You want that direct pipeline, of course. But he even was touching on the fact that, sure, this is going to be something that is really big for his local recruits because a lot of recruits are going to be drawn to this. Outside of that, he was talking about the fact that if this team really can elevate to the next level, and I'm not sure exactly what the next level is, but you just kind of remember the days of Eric Dungy and a feeling of relevancy, and if you can get back to that level where you're winning more, this could have implications not only for the local recruits, but for the fan base, for the community, for the economy, for the school. The list just goes on and on and on.
In today's day and age, and in the United States of America, football is king. And football is the first thing you see when it comes to these different schools. And having a good football program is more important now than ever. And obviously, Syracuse, they're taking a swing here with Fran Brown. I think it's a good one, and we'll see what he's going to be able to do with the CNY talent.
Listen, could it be a risk? Potentially, but
I think it has to be.
You have to risk it to get the biscuit. So
nice.
Thanks for joining us for a little Orange Zone overtime. Samantha Croston, Tommy Sladek. We'll see you next time.